Anyway, you're gonna hop to the left here. And I did not do that correctly. Oh well. That's fine, we can just use the Song of Time. No big deal. I try to stick to the left because that's where the switch for the rusted, it's a rusted switch to open the gate for the Goron and the small key that's right here. You don't actually have to play the Song of Time to hit the switch. I am going to show something that is kind of unique, though. Excuse me. With the Megaton Hammer. If you go ahead and use the hammer, that is the hook shot, not the hammer. Like that. And then you do a crouch stab. The sword actually gets the properties of the Megaton Hammer, and it can hit rusted switches. Excuse me, my throat is really dry right now. But the sword gets the properties of the Megaton Hammer and is able to hit rusted switches as if it was the Megaton Hammer itself. But anyway, we got the last key that we're going to need, so I'm going to go ahead and use Ferore's Wind quick. Return back to the beginning of the dungeon, since that's where I activated this at. And we're back in this room. Now, for some reason, the crouch stab does not work on these blocks. I don't know why. Although I did just use the sword. Let me demonstrate again quick, though. But yeah, I use the Megaton Hammer, and then when I crouch stab on these, it doesn't seem to work. I don't know if it's because it's a collision detection thing or whatever, but you do have to use the Megaton Hammer on those blocks of those weird face statues in order to actually get by and enter this room. But if you use the Megaton Hammer here, you can flip all of the torch slugs, making them pretty useless, actually. They're pretty easy to take out, though, once you do get the hammer. The Megaton Hammer actually does have pretty good uses in this game overall. I think there's one more. Yeah, there's a fire case over here yet. I'm going to go ahead and equip the hook shot. And zippity-doo-dah, we've taken care of all the enemies. Okay, we're going to make our way into this room. I would just keep going. You can pretty much skip this room. I don't feel very comfortable with that like being there. I want to get the Skulltula, though. I don't want to take the risk of the like eating my shield. I mean, you can pretty much get it back instantly, but it's a risk I don't want to take. But I wanted the Skulltula, otherwise I would have just kept moving on. And we have the second Flame Dancer here. You can just use the Megaton Hammer. It does cancel the effects of the crouch stab, though, if you do use it. So you want to make sure to do a jump slash as soon as you're done with the Megaton Hammer. That way you can power it up quick. But just slam the Megaton Hammer on the ground. You can also hit the Flame Dancer with the jump slash attack if you can reach it in enough time before it runs away. Otherwise, just use crouch stab, make sure you power it up. Oh, it still hit me, that was weird. The chest that appears does contain bombs, but it just dropped bombs, so I don't really have a need to be opening that chest, so I'm just going to keep moving on. We'll go ahead and do the crouch stab trick with the Megaton Hammer to show that you can hit the switch with the sword. Open up the chest and get our boss key. It is possible to do another glitch that is up in the room where you got the Megaton Hammer, and you can pretty much just skip getting the boss key. But it is a bit tricky to pull off, and I haven't really messed around with that much, so the way I'm doing it here is probably safest. At least for me. It depends on your level of speedrunning. Because pretty much the game doesn't have limits depending on how good you can do it as far as glitches go. I am going to go ahead and equip the Fire Tunic here, though. And you're probably wondering, how am I supposed to get over to the door since I didn't do it the normal way where you drop this pillar down in? Because normally that's how you would make a platform to get across. Well, we're just gonna hookshot over here. Before we continue on quick though, let's restock on hearts. There are 2 fairies in the pots here. I only need 1 of them because I'm pretty sure I have a bunch equipped in bottles already. Anyway, the Mega Flip trick that I did in Jabu's Belly is going to return again. We're going to be doing the same trick here. It's where you put the bomb down, and then hold Z and use the shield at the same time. You can kind of use the hookshot target here as a guide. You don't want to like put it directly beside it, but it's a good way to line up with the door if you just kind of like position yourself so that you're near it at least. But you're going to step forward a little bit, shield drop the bomb, like this, step back so that the grab command disappears. And I didn't pull that off correctly, but I'm going to try again. You want to roll into the bomb like right as it's going off, and then backflip immediately, and that's how you'll trigger the Mega Flip. Basically, the Mega Flip increases the amount of distance you travel with the backflip, allowing you to skip many gaps that are otherwise inaccessible. And you saw there that I didn't take any damage. That means I sort of did the glitch, but I didn't do it correctly to actually do the backflip, because my timing was just off a little bit. The timing is a little tricky. This is a more difficult trick, and as you saw, I failed majorly there, if I can even talk correctly. I'm probably going to stop recording after I do this boss because my voice is starting to crack up a bit. I can tell by like listening to myself even right now. Let's see if I can do this correctly though. Okay, finally I did it correctly that time. The lineup is pretty specific there. Excuse me, I can't talk right. You want to do it where you're not like right up by the hookshot target itself, but just like maybe a step or 2 back away from it, just to give yourself enough room to be able to do the Mega Flip correctly so that you can make the distance to flip over here. But since I made it without the platform, we can move on to the boss. I do like this boss here for this temple. As you'll see here, it has really cool hair actually. Flame hair, as a matter of fact, and I think that's kind of one of the neat things about it, just like aesthetically looking at it. I don't know if it's possible to beat it without the Megaton Hammer or not. I think most speedrunners would just skip this boss altogether, if I'm not mistaken. The ones that like do the dungeons out of order, or just don't even do some of the dungeons, period. But as back to my main point, I don't know if it's possible to defeat Volvagia without the Megaton Hammer or not. And Link, that is the hookshot. I keep using the hookshot for some reason. Because of it, I screwed up. So that was just lovely. Okay. I thought it was actually going to go in the air, that's why I did that. So already messing up. I think with jump slashes, it takes 4 hits. I have a really bad cough right now. I'm sorry about that. Maybe I can edit it out, I'm not sure. But anyway, oh wow, I still hit it. That's quite a surprise. But every time it comes out of the ground, you want to go to the edges and just crawl down. It decreases the amount of time it spends up in the air. Now you can hit it with the hookshot and arrows. It doesn't really damage it though. I think it just causes it to retreat back down to the ground quicker. But ultimately, just by climbing down the ledge, you can avoid the rocks that it drops when it goes back into the ground. Or if it just flies in the air, it just goes right back into the ground instantly. It's not too difficult. I mean, I have taken a good bit of hearts of damage from this thing already, but nothing too bad. And a lot of people like to pronounce its name with the G sounding like a J. But I did see somewhere before that Nintendo confirmed that it is supposed to be pronounced Volvagia, with the G being a hard G. I mean, just think about the executive producer's name of this game, Shigeru Miyamoto. Shigeru with a hard G in his name. For some reason I thought I was done with the boss, but I guess there's one more hit yet that has to come yet. Same strategy though, just crawl down here. Excuse me. So much coughing. I'm probably going to stop the recording after this boss, actually, because my voice actually is starting to crack up a lot. Okay, I think one more time should finish it off. Okay, yep, that took care of it. And again, that flippin' awesome hair of it. For some reason, the hair itself can damage you, like, as it kind of like swings its head when it pops out of the ground, exposing itself to vulnerability. But yeah, the hair can damage you. And it has a pretty cool death animation too, actually. Off with your head, you terrible dragon. Totally know what I'm going to call this video now. Oh, and I love how you can still Z-target it when its head pops off of its body. It is kind of interesting. Because even Navi was targeting it, like, you could still even get the enemy description and everything. I find that amusing. I don't know, it's just something weird about it. And for some reason, it's just kind of interesting how this is, but, like, I love how the volcano is erupting here. Whenever it shows this scene, right before the Chamber of the Sages, you can see the top of the volcano, like the lava spewing out ever so slightly. It's a weird red pattern effect. It's kind of odd, actually. Well, with that said, we've taken care of the Fire Temple rather quickly, I might add. The Fire Temple is normally pretty long, but I think I got through not even half an hour, I think, and I'm still through it pretty quick. Since it's a half hour, I probably will split it in 2 videos, so it doesn't get too long, but anyway, Darunia is happy. This is probably like one of the few times where he has a smile on his face. And obviously, even in the English version, it says that, you know, he goes off to take care of the dragon, even without the hammer. So I guess it's implied that Darunia gets killed by Volvagia. Again, to add more speculation to the theory that the sages are dead. But with that said, I'm going to stop the recording here. Till next time, everyone, this is ToadinWonderland, and hopefully I will be back with more of Japanese Zelda Ocarina of Time when my voice is recovered. See you guys later.